Hello and thanks for tuning in to another exciting episode of Double Barrel Gaming. I'm your host, MrBooMStickXL, and if you're a fan of classic gaming, then this story is for you. Whether you're a veteran gamer like me or a new school gamer who started out with their PlayStation 4, at some point you've probably heard of the Sega Genesis. Gaming anniversaries are always popping up in one way or another, and I like that. It gives me perspective on how long I've been gaming. Sega is celebrating the 30th anniversary of the Mega Drive, or as we know it, the Genesis here in the States. Why that's relevant is because in a very unexpected announcement, the COO of Sega tweeted that the company was looking to get back into the hardware business with a proper reissue of the console. That's right, you heard it here first. A mini Genesis is on the way here to the States, and I couldn't be happier. This was, no doubt, inspired by the success Nintendo had with the NES and SNES Mini. And honestly, who could blame Sega for wanting to make some money in the classic games department? At this time, the amount of games that will be preloaded onto the system is unavailable, but I do have other information that's extremely exciting if you're into classic gaming like I am. The Genesis Mini will have a rewind feature that is currently available in the AtGames Flashback Genesis console you've seen on the market in retail locations like Target, Walmart, and Amazon. Now this is where the story gets extremely interesting. The Japanese Mega Drive version will not have a cartridge slot, making it a closed platform like Nintendo's NES and SNES Mini. Other territories, on the other hand, will have a cartridge slot on the console. Considering this is a miniature version of the Sega Genesis, I highly doubt you'll be able to use a full-size cartridge, though a slot on the side of the system for an SD card may be what they are referring to. This would give players the option to purchase new SD cards containing other Genesis games from Sega and expand their classic game library. This is, without a doubt, an option that I believe Nintendo missed the mark on with the NES and SNES Classic. Giving players the ability to add new games to the classic systems would have been a moneymaker for Nintendo. How they didn't see that is shocking to me. Considering I've been gaming since the days of Pong, and yes, I really am that old. I love the idea of being able to play official copies of classic games like Sonic the Hedgehog, Streets of Rage, Golden Axe, and Altered Beast, just to name a few. Would you consider picking up a Sega Genesis Mini? I'm very interested to hear what you have to say about Sega jumping back into the console market. Please leave all opinions in the comments section below. And now for today's community spotlight, and that person is Deathmobile. It's been a real honor getting to know Deathmobile, but not through just DM on Twitter, but seeing how he reacts with other community members during YouTube's biggest gaming podcasts. When asked what his first gaming experience was, he told me in the interview that he remembers playing the Atari 2600 in his friend's house in the late 70s. They played Combat, Casino, and some paddle racing games. At the time, Deathmobile was totally blown away by the technology, though he didn't get his first Atari until the early 80s when the cartridges were cheaper. When asked how long he's been gaming, he tells me he's been gaming for well over 40 years, and that even has me beat, but I'm still close. For someone who's been gaming as long as Deathmobile, it's easy to imagine that he's had just about every system on the market. Well, I'm here to tell you today that that is, in fact, true. He's owned everything from the Atari 2600 all the way through the Xbox One X. Folks, this dude is a real gamer. When asked who his favorite gaming character was of all time, I was immediately surprised on how quickly he was able to answer this question. With a smile and a stern demeanor, he tells me it's Master Chief from the Halo series. Deathmobile explains that while playing as the Master Chief in the Halo universe, you can take a step back and look at the story and the environments through the cutscenes and think you're watching a movie. You're getting the best of both worlds. His story can go anywhere with prequels or furthering the story into the future. Next, I asked him what his favorite game of all time was. Deathmobile tells me his favorite game of all time was The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. And according to him, he was a Zelda freak way before he played the game in 2002. With someone who has so much gaming experience under his belt, he wanted to add 2 more games to the list. Coming in at a very narrow second and third place, they go to Halo 3 and Gears of War 3 respectively. And truthfully, I expected a Halo game to show up somewhere in his favorite game list. Deathmobile is very excited to see where they take the Halo series and Gears series in the future. When asked what his favorite gaming console of all time, he immediately responded with the Xbox 360, and this is exactly why. First and foremost, the Xbox 360 continued the swagger that the OG Xbox had since 2001. Because the OG Xbox had a more advanced chipset, games like Splinter Cell, Halo 2, and the GTA series looked superior on the Xbox. The Xbox 360 continued that with an improved online service, achievements, and great exclusive games and services. Microsoft established an incredible ecosystem that drew him in and kept him on his Xbox. Deathmobile had hoped that the Xbox One would continue that tradition, but since they revamped everything from the OS, Xbox Live, and the voice chat system, it was a slow climb to the return of what made the Xbox 360 and the OG Xbox so great. When asked what his most treasured gaming moment of all time was, this is what he had to say. It was when he killed Ganondorf at the end of Ocarina of Time and Wind Waker, and because of real life, those two games were a multi-year trek to completion. Some of his other treasured gaming moments include completing the Gears of War series on insane both solo and co-op, and beating Halo on Legendary. He revels in the solo game, but also enjoys sharing the glory in co-op. When asked what his game of the year for 2017 was, this is what he had to say, and it's a pretty interesting and very honest answer. He openly admits he did not have the time to buy or play many games in 2017 due to completing his master's degree in social studies education. However, he did play Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus, and he found that game to be far and away the best game he's seen in a long time. According to Deathmobile, considering that the Xbox exclusives were sparse in 2017, it was nice to have a title such as this to take advantage of the Xbox One X hardware. When asked what had him excited for 2018 and beyond, his answer was thought-provoking. Well, as a fan of the Xbox platform, it's easy to see that Microsoft and the Xbox has conceded this generation to the PlayStation. Nevertheless, he's still looking forward to many of the games that are in development and some that have not even been announced yet. Deathmobile is itching for the next Halo game, but knows in his heart that it won't be coming this year, and that is disappointing. He has high hopes for the next Gears of War game and is looking forward to the next Forza game in that series. Deathmobile is hopeful that Microsoft and the Xbox team will remember what made the OG Xbox and Xbox 360 so good and forge forward with the swagger they used to have. I hope you enjoyed today's community spotlight of Deathmobile and suggest you give him a follow on Twitter. He's definitely one of the community good guys. All of his information will be in the show notes below. I hope you enjoyed today's video and the latest addition to the Community Spotlight. And if you did, please consider hitting that like button, sharing this on social media, and consider subscribing to the channel. Once again, thanks for watching. Have an awesome day.